Yeah, back in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah was good.
All right, this episode is sponsored by Flavor Fest, man. It's the big 2-5, man. 25 years in. We're going to be out there November 6th through the 9th. Make sure you get in the building, man. The track stars are hosting the beat battle, so we're still looking for those producers for you to submit. And, man, bring your A game, man. We're going to crown that winner this year. So make sure you come on out to going out to favorfest.org and sign up there. And we'll check out your submissions, man, and hopefully you'll be selected to come on.
Yeah, man. First, before we start, first of all, we had to record this early, just in case you didn't know. But we're still watching live with you guys. We dedicating this one to our boy Jeremiah. We went to his funeral.
His mother's funeral.
I keep saying that. His mother's funeral this past week. So we're wearing these in memory of her. And just keep praying for your boy. He's doing good.
Yeah,
he's doing
he's
good.
Back in Atlanta
good
too.
Spirits. But we wanted to make sure we supported him and Maya and his sister. People you've seen over the years through here, including her. And we just feel for him, man. We really feel
it's
for
a
him.
very tough situation to lose a parent. And he's doing good, man. He's in good spirits. He's just, man. The prayer has been that the Lord would just give him all the comfort that he needs, and I truly believe that the community praying, that's what he's getting.
Yeah. So pray for your boy. He needs it. He needs it. Him and Maya, because Maya, that's her mom too. So yeah. So thank you guys for all the well wishes that you guys gave him last week when you weren't sure what the outcome was going to be.
Right.
But it meant a lot to him. He called us and he showed a lot of appreciation for everybody who said nice things, and he was in the chat with us last week as well. So I know it meant a lot to him, and he loves you guys. So anyway, just wanted to start with that before we get going. But we got a good show for you guys today. We got a real good show for you guys today. So stay tuned. We got Dee-1 in the building.
Yeah.
Dee-1 is back. How you doing, sir?
Doing great, bro. Glad to be back, man.
Yeah, man.
I like y'all.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm friendly with everybody, but I'm not friends with everybody. You heard me? But I like y'all, man.
I appreciate
Awesome,
it.
man.
We got Minister Reggie Key sitting in with us as well.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, man. And Shania will be here in a second, but we got a lot to get into. We want to find out how life has been. I know you got this new album, sir. How's it going?
Yeah, new album, Hypocritical Hop, out right now. It's going amazingly well, bro. This the best album I've ever put out, in my personal opinion. Yep. Best album I've ever put out because it's so timely with what I've been speaking about and making a lot of traction with in terms of the state of the culture and what we need to do to, separate the toxic elements that have infiltrated hip hop and the selfishness and all the stuff that the devil gets glory from. Being able to speak about it, but then make music about it, and now go on tour. The tour starts September 5th, and I'm going around the country. So it's great, bro. To hear people say, like, yo, this the best album of the year, man. Like, coming up to me on the street, coming up to me when I just set foot inside of an event. That stuff means a lot, bro. I'm not trying to compete with anybody else. It ain't never my album is better than yours or better than that person's. But I'm trying to maximize the gifts God gave me with what I put out while I'm here on earth.
Yeah.
So I got the album here. What are some of the ones that stand out to you?
So the standout songs are GANGSTA.
Yeah.
My Enemies featuring BG.
Yes, sir.
If y'all know who BG is from New Orleans, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Another one that's a standout is You a Star with La Russell.
That's a good one.
You heard me? Yeah, that one powerful. The one that I think is the most powerful song in hip hop right now is called Why Do We?
Yeah.
Yeah, that song is extremely powerful. I finally made a song called OGs versus DGs where I draw the line in the sand and explain to everybody we got OGs in our culture, but we got DGs, aka disappointing grown-ups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm able to speak about that in that song and allow people to see that there's differences between OG behavior and DG behavior. And we shouldn't be following after somebody just because they're old or just because they're older than us. You know what I mean? What type of example are they setting? We got the song Hypocritical Hop, the actual song Hypocritical Hop, which is the last joint on the album. That's a standout. That's one of the most highly streamed songs. Yeah, man. So pretty much it's the type of album that you don't have to skip any songs, because every song is on brand, it's on theme with the concept of hypocritical hop. And all, hip hop is like heaven,
Yeah.
Hypocritical hop is like hell. And all I'm
yeah.
saying is I'm trying to take us from hell back to heaven.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the point of this album is we love hip hop, but we should hate hypocritical hop. And hypocritical hop isn't a person. It's not a blogger. It's not a podcaster. It's not a certain set of rappers. Hypocritical hop is the spirit of evil through the devil that can work through any one of us. And when we allow that spirit to infiltrate any one of our talent sets and our skill sets, then we'll end up creating music that's infectious, that's catchy, and that's powerful, but it'll be glorifying all the things that bring Satan glory. And that's what hypocritical hop is. There's a reward system that's been set up to incentivize people to make toxic music.
Right.
A reward system. So people who don't know any better, they think, well, this is all hip hop. No, sir. There's a line drawn in the sand. I had to post this morning a young rapper in Florida, one of Kodak Black's former artists, got murdered. Then last week it was a rapper, I think T Hood out here in Atlanta, got murdered. Then, man, it's becoming too normal and we're becoming too numb to it, man. This ain't hip hop. This is hypocritical hop. We had to have a name for it, bro, because for far too long, people try to put it all in one category. This is all just part of hip hop, man. It's all part of. No, it's not, man. Hip hop is beautiful. Hip hop is life giving, bro. It's life changing. It changed all of our lives that are sitting here. But hypocritical hop is what had some of us crying in the car when we found out our best friend got murdered, and he got murdered maybe because he got caught up in the street life, and there was a soundtrack to that lifestyle, and that soundtrack incentivized him to sell dope, incentivized him to go slide on his ops, incentivized him to not get closer to God, to take his trauma and glorify it instead of trying to heal it. All that's hypocritical hop, and it's very dangerous, bro. It's very dangerous.
It is.
Don't forget that Satan was a whole angel at one point.
Yeah.
So the same artists who we might look at all of their amazing qualities, that same artist, if they allow darkness and evil to work through them, that same artist can be an agent that is doing the devil's work out here.
Facts.
You know?
Yeah, there was a rapper that passed away not too long ago, and everybody was just saying like they felt like he was gonna wind up in hell because he was
King Von.
King Von, yeah. And he was just like walking around claiming to be a demon.
Bro, listen, man, I'm not gonna. There's a lot of rappers in hell right now, bro. There's a lot. We acting like it's one rapper that's in hell right now, bro. There are a whole lot of rappers in hell right now, and it's not even close. It's like it's super obvious what they stood for, what they represented while they were here, you know?
Right.
So let's swallow that uncomfortable pill, and once people start to realize that, dang, some of my top 5 is burning in flames right now. You know? So when y'all talking about top 5s and top 10s, I'm in a headspace in life right now to where I feel detached from every type of culture that has been man-made, right? So black culture, I feel detached from it because although there's redeemable qualities and things I love about it, there's stuff that gets umbrellaed underneath black culture that I'm like, that ain't of God, man. That ain't of God. So like New Orleans, where I'm from, I love my city, but there's certain things that people be like, that's just what we do in New Orleans. This is just part of our culture. Stuff that I'm like, brother, I don't rock with that, you know? Hip hop culture, you know what I mean? There are certain things that y'all are trying to claim as they're trying to convince us this is all just part of hip hop culture. And I was like, we got to find another name for this stuff. And that's why hypocritical hop is what I came up with, bro, because you can't just say that this is all just par for the course. It just got to be like this. It's like, who wants to be in the game to change the game, you know? Who wants to be in the world to change the world? You know, I'm in these streets, you hear me? I'm in the world. I'm in places that people might say, what is Dee-1 doing there? What is Dee-1 doing around that artist or whatever? Man, all these environments are better after I leave them. That's the goal. You know what I mean? And if they're not better after I leave them, then what am I doing there?
Yeah.
And sometimes you can tell instantly that the environments have changed for the better, and sometimes it's just seeds you planted that over time it's like people end up doing a U-turn and being like, hey, I was calling you a clout chaser last year, but this year I'm showing you love and I'm saluting you. I was at your top last year. I ain't really rock with you because your approach, it just seemed like you had selfish intentions, but I'm seeing now that you actually got the courage to say what needs to be said. And people telling me this, bro. Like, it's interesting. Right now, in real time, Atlanta is in the uproar because one of their heroes, Young Thug, Oh man, is Young Thug a rat? Oh my gosh. And I see Young Thug coming out on Twitter adamant about, man, I ain't no rat, man. I didn't snitch. I didn't do this. I didn't do that, right? Man, I love that passion from Young Thug, but it's being applied to the wrong cause.
Yeah.
You heard me? What if we had that passion for wanting to prove to the streets and to the world that, hey, I'm a man of God. I'm down here doing God's work. I ain't out here being used by the devil. What if we had that type of passion towards that? Yeah. So I love the passion from our people, but it's oftentimes applied to the wrong purpose.
Yeah, man. What you're saying, I hear two things, right? One is, I love that you're putting a name to the principalities that we're facing, right? Because we need to remember that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, right? But against principalities, powers, the rulers of the darkness of this world, spiritual wickedness in high places. But in order to fight the spiritual warfare that we've been equipped to do, you got to know the name of stuff.
There you go.
You got to be able to call that thing out, right? So you putting a name on it helps, right? Because now you can begin to target that thing, right? And the other thing that I love that I hear you saying, D, is like you're the leaven in the lump. All of us are supposed to be yeast, and for too long we've been talking about separating ourselves. But if you separate the yeast from the bread doesn't rise. It's impossible for it to rise without us having that interaction with it, and that's a violent interaction. You know what I mean? Like if you think about the chemical reaction that happens when you put yeast into bread dough, it begins to like create air, right? And you cannot have that process. I keep thinking of the kingdom of God suffereth violence, but the violent take it by force. We're not violent against each other. We're violent against these spiritual principalities that are set themselves against the growth and the development and the discipleship of God's people.
I love you, dog, but I hate that sin inside you. That's all it is. You heard me? It's like, brother, I love you. I'm looking you right in your eye, brother. I love you. But that sin that's working through you and the fact that you've been given a large platform and now you're influencing the masses, I hate that sin that's working through you. So I got to practice. I got to walk this fine line and practice something called transformational love, right? Transformational love means I know when to affirm you and big up you and pour into you in a positive way. But I also, because I love you, I know when to say, hey, you could do better, bro. I know you could do better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm coming from South Carolina, right? And the church that I attend, Greater Works, the pastor talked about this word rebuke. And he was like, this word rebuke isn't always a thing where you're reprimanding somebody. When you look up that word in Greek, that word rebuke means to set you back to your proper position, to almost like redeem you, right? And so that's what I hear you talking about too. Like that rebuke isn't a harsh reset for you. It's a, yo, I know you better. I'm seeing you through God's lens. And when I see you through God's lens, I speak to that. And that's who I'm restoring you to be.
Yeah.
So D, how do you know when to let up? Like, if there's a rapper that you see is doing something that's detrimental to the community, where are you trying to get them to? Because, you know what I mean? Like, so for instance, like the people you have in your songs, you feel like they're progressing, or you know, there's certain artists that you do like. Is there a certain point that you want them to get to where you feel like, okay, now this is a better place for you to be? Yeah. Can you give them like a what's the end goal of?
I'm never trying to get somebody to disown their background or disown their own journey, right? I'm just trying to get them to say, go from glorifying the negativity to narrating it. You know, if I could get them to go from glorification to narration, that changes the whole paradigm. Because now people who are listening to it and taking it in, they're like, oh, we're hearing about murder, we're hearing about drugs, we're hearing about prostitutes, the streets, we're hearing about porn, we're hearing about whatever, but we're hearing about money, but we're hearing about it from an angle of you're speaking to us in a way that we can be taught how to grow from being being slaves to those things. But when people are glorifying this stuff, I'm just trying to get them to get to the point to where they like, man, D ain't even trying to get us to, hey, you better be an altar boy by next month, you know what I mean, or else you failed. D just trying to get it to where it's like, can we all agree that it is not cool to glorify murder and killing each other?
I think that's where people probably confused. He wanted me to be a Christian hip hop artist. I don't want to do that.
And I've never said that. I think that's people who got elementary school level of comprehension. I don't think anything about what I've ever said has come across like that. Because even a Christian hip hop artist, I've never even looked at myself and said, D, you're the definition of a Christian hip hop artist. Bro, I've been the same dude since before my locks was even touching my neck. You know what I'm saying? And it's been something to where I didn't even know that Christian hip hop was an industry,
Yeah,
was
I remember.
a scene, a
Remember that,
subgenre, literally. So, nah, man, like when people say that listen, people will come up with some very crafty excuses to duck and dodge accountability.
Absolutely.
I've heard it all. I've heard, man, you don't really care about making change. You're just trying to get on. You know, that's just a lane that you found to get on. I've heard, man, you trying to get us to all convert to be Christians. Like this is some church stuff to where you're trying to get us to convert right now to just drop everything and be Christians. I wouldn't mind if y'all all became Christians.
Right.
That would actually be amazing. You heard me? And I do want that.
So you just want them to stop glorifying, because everybody claims they're just narrating, but you're like, no, you're not. You're glorifying.
Right.
A lot of them know that they're glorifying, and I like to make it to where people are like, dang, this man loves me so much that I feel uncomfortable glorifying this stuff now, because like D really like loving on me, like pouring into me. So when I turn around and be like, D, I know you're loving me, bro, but I'm about to get out here and do this stuff that's totally opposite of what we've been talking about. That creates a level of uncomfortability in them. And that uncomfortability produces growth a lot of times, because now people, their conscience is coming back into play.
Because on this project, you worked with some Atlanta legends.
Who?
Did you work with some Atlanta legends on this project?
On this project, no, because I got two features on this project. I got BG, who from New Orleans.
Okay, all right,
Don't try to
right.
claim BG. He
No. You're right.
Every time you hear BG, he say, wah. That's New Orleans right there. You hear me?
Yeah.
And I got La Russell. And La Russell is
okay.
from the Bay Area.
Okay.
As far as Atlanta, though, bro.
It must be another project.
The
'cause
amount of
you've had,
people I
like,
work with.
T.I.
from the
and
so,
Killer Mike.
So Killer Mike, absolutely. My first tour I went on was with Young Dro and Killer Mike.
Right.
I was signed to Grand Hustle Management, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, as far as T.I., we've never done a song yet to this point, but we have a relationship. And it's funny that you brought his name up. We just had had some powerful DMs exchanged in the past 24 hours, man.
wow.
Yeah.
And I be excited about this stuff because I'm knowing, like, this ain't no surface level, I like your new car type of DMs or like, oh, man, I like that outfit. Nah, this is, like, it's progress being made, bro. And I know that people are still going through a process. So their process is something that I understand, but at the same time, brother, I don't know how long we got here. So we can't take a day off in terms of saying like, hey, I'm working for God. I'm not working for y'all approval. So if I'm doing things and saying things on a daily basis that make y'all be like, oh man, dang, this dude really trying to make progress in this culture. It's like, yeah, I'm actually trying to dismantle this whole thing that we've gotten too comfortable with for the last 40 years.
So that's what you mean by hypocritical. You mean that these people know this.
Yes.
And then they get on record and then act like they don't
and play
know.
dumb.
Okay,
That's why the track list flows how it flows. The album starts off with a group of kids in the intro saying, why do we cry when rappers die, but we love when they glorify murder when they're alive? Why do we say that we love one another, then turn around and backstab our brother? Why do we claim that we cherish our sisters, then disrespect them and call them all? Why do we cry when rappers die, but we love when they glorify murder when they're alive? I started the album off with a group of kids like chanting that because when you hear it from the innocent voice and perspective of kids, it makes you as an adult be like, why are we doing this, man? Like this is asinine. This is crazy. And I have done a lot of research. I'm at Harvard University as a fellow. I'm a professor at Tufts University studying the role that hip-hop plays as a teaching tool, specifically in the black community. And the common denominator with all of this stuff is people wanting social inclusion. So people growing up feel like, oh, this what it means to be authentically black is to like these type of artists, to wear these type of brands, and to listen to this type of music or make this type of music. So social inclusion, a desire for social inclusion is what causes that. But then secondly, bro, it's people being addicted to the rewards, AKA the money that they receive for pushing and proclaiming that stuff as being their own. That's it, bro.
Yeah. No, that was a powerful clip because you ended with that too.
Yeah, I ended with that.
Yeah.
So that's in the beginning of the album. I appreciate you for listening, by the way. Beginning of the album, it's in the middle of the album, and it's at the end of the album. Yep. And
That's how I knew I got to the end because it looped back and I was like, oh, here it goes.
Yeah, what happened? Yeah. Man, I do want the industry deserves to be uncomfortable right now. Executives in the industry deserve to be called hypocrites if they are pushing music on our kids that they would never let their own kids listen to. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you said. You said the biggest gangsters got blonde hair
and blue eyes. Exactly. Fans deserve to be called hypocrites and to feel uncomfortable if they are saying that, dang, it's messed up that this rapper got killed, but then if they are the ones who are streaming and supporting that artist's music that was glorifying murder while they were alive, you know what I'm saying? And artists deserve to feel uncomfortable if they are sitting here knowing better. And I never talk about the younger artists when I'm saying this. I'm talking about the older artists who made it through them street years and the trenches and when it was ugly and it was gritty outside for them. When they made it through that, it's just like they have a call to do better, bro. You know, that's why when I say stuff about like Jermaine Dupri, I don't have no personal issue with Jermaine Dupri. We all grew up on his music, like having reverence for his talent. You know what I'm saying? But when I see that you are 52 years old and you are choosing to say, man, I got to bring strip club culture back to Atlanta now. I got to do a whole album trying to get that feeling back of us in the strip clubs. And you on podcasts glorifying Made It Rain, $10 million in the strip club. That's lame, my brother. I love you. I still love you. But that's lame. You know what I'm saying? That's DG behavior. That's a disappointing grown-up right there when you see that. And people need to hear that because he didn't like when I said that. He DM'd me 5 minutes later. And we had a whole back and forth in the DMs. And when I started hitting him with that real, he left me on scene. You heard me? Because it's like at a certain point, you can't go back and forth when a man is coming from a sincere place and you know that that man is right. And you know that that man ain't chasing no clout or nothing like this. It's just like, brother, like you my grandpa age. You know what I'm saying? Like what are we doing? But what example? And see people laugh and see people feelings get hurt when it's like, oh, he got him up there laughing at me on the side. I really don't like Dee-1 now. That's how that go. But it get to a point where I'm laughing, thinking like, y'all Negroes is really pushing this, like at this big old grown age, like this what y'all doing? So we need, bro, like we need Jermaine Dupri to help us shift the culture. We need T.I. to help us shift the culture. We need Jeezy to help us shift the culture, bro. Like, I don't even think people are seeing it like this. I ain't met Jeezy in person yet, but I know he is a smart dude. I can tell how articulate he is. My thing just be this. We got to get to the point to where instead of saying, man, it's been 20 years since Thug Motivation 101 came out. You know what I'm about to do? Go on tour and promote that same music. But this time, we just going to have on tuxedos and we're going to have a symphony behind us. So it's symbolizing that we grew up. Well, how much do we grow up if we still promoting and performing that same music? So now you just, you want to be in a tuxedo glorifying selling dope. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, that's admirable. Like what? You know?
I think T.I. and Jeezy may know, but do you think Jermaine Dupri knows that that's wrong?
Based on our DMs, I honestly feel like there's a part of him that feels like it's only wrong to people when it hits close to home.
I see.
Right.
So if their daughter is on that strip pole, you heard me?
Then it matters.
It hit totally different, right? Yeah. But otherwise, people he definitely feels like, and a lot of people feel like, man, this is Atlanta culture. So when they hit me with man, what if I came to New Orleans and talked down on voodoo? Or I'd be like, be my guest.
Right.
I don't care.
Keys to the city.
Because my city's culture don't come before God's word.
Come on.
Amen. Okay.
Amen.
And that's what people, and that's what we got to start to see is that's why I say, brother, I have no allegiance to any culture at this point that's of this world. Because our allegiance to these man-made worldly cultures will have us misprioritizing what's most important in life. It's like, on the totem pole of identity, our relationship with God should be at the top, right? And specifically through his son, Jesus Christ, right? Yeah. After that, if you want to say, okay, now I'm a black man, now I'm from New Orleans, now I'm from Atlanta, now I'm a hip-hop artist, now I'm this, now I'm that, cool. But on that totem pole of identity, what's at the top, man? And I think in hip-hop, when we have become, that's why we got to be careful. I rap about this on the album. We got to be careful when we this on the song, Call It Like It Is. I'm like, y'all done turned this culture trash. These so-called legends ain't no legends. I don't care if they sold millions or you hearing their message. When people get to calling you a legend and people get to calling you, you the GOAT of this, and you realize I got millions and millions of dollars off of being this person, we can get to the point to where it's hard for us to submit to the authority of anything because we feel godlike down here. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's a problem too, bro. We all need to humble the heck out of ourselves, dog. We can literally be dead in 5 seconds from now. And a lot of people don't realize that, dog. And then they feel like, well, if I die, at least I lived a great life here. Boy, you about to burn in hell.
Right.
Like what? Like let's have these uncomfortable conversations, bro. Let's have these uncomfortable convos. So it's made me kind of back off from typically I'm like, people like, oh, who's your top 5, D? Or typically, I'm sure I have a ton of interviews where I've said, man, I grew up looking up to this person, or I grew up wanting to be just like this person. And now, man, as I get older, it's just like, nah, like I don't want nobody to feel that comfort of thinking, because it's that security of like, man, if all these people love me, then what's this one little light-skinned dude with dreadlocks? That's just one person that's speaking out against what I'm doing. But all these people love me, and people get comfortable like that. And my thing is like, hey, brother, I'm just the calm before the real storm. You heard me?
Yeah. So you mentioned that you're just trying to get them to where they narrate instead of promote. And I saw you at the glorify, right? I saw you at the Nas. Is Nas? You were at the Nas concert. Is Nas an example of what you mean by narrating?
I think
because he's been a narrator.
I think Nas has been an effective narrator throughout his career, and I do think that Nas has certain songs where he's absolutely glorified street life. For sure. And even if you listen back, it's like, okay, Nas, when I was growing up, Nas was the person who it seemed like, it was like, oh, at least we getting another side. I didn't know what narration of the streets was until I heard Nas, because all I heard was glorification of it. Yeah. So it was like, dang, this dude is at least providing like what we'll consider progress towards like, oh, I don't have to denounce where I came from and what I came up around, but I'm not always glorifying it. But absolutely, Nas has songs where, for sure, bro, where it's like,
tell the good and the bad, not just making it seem like it's like no bad involved. Like it's, like how people make it feel like if you're not like me, then you ain't nobody. He actually told both sides of the story, the consequences. I think that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, he's done that, bro. Listen, man, how can I effectively say this? I'm free in a way that most people aren't, right? When it comes by the grace of God, that's why God just however long you got me here, man. Like this is the heart posture I need to have. I'm free, meaning there is no form of cancellation that I'm afraid of that prevents me from speaking the truth. Right?
That makes sense.
There's no acceptance or validation that I need from anyone to where it's like, dang, if I say this, it might mess up my friendship with this person. I might not be able to get a feature from this person. All that is like, I'm good on all that. All that does, and financially, it's not like, dang, if I say this stuff, it might slow my bag up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is in a very good position. That department of life, the financial department, by the grace of God, humbly speaking. I want that for every artist, because when you are creating, like creativity, like God was a creator. Like God literally created everything that we see around us. When you are creating from a place of freedom and from a place of love, and not with this negative chip on your shoulder because you're trying to curry favor from these people or get back at these people who, messed over you in the past or whatever. When you are creating from a place of freedom, brother, that creativity has life-changing potential, right? And I want that for more artists, bro. Too many artists are creating from a place of, maybe I'll finally get popular by just making it as an artist. So their real ulterior motive is, I'm just trying to get popular, Some people's ulterior motive is, I'm just trying to get a bag. And it seems like rapping is getting the bag for people, right? Creating from a place of freedom to where it's like, yo, I know that one of my gifts is being able to make music, and I know that I make music to do what? Serve God. 2 words, serve God. It's that simple. So use my gift to serve God. Then what you will create, and being like, I'm at peace, whether I go platinum, whether I go gold, whether I go reaching 300 people, but I know that was in God's will. If I'm using my gifts to serve God and doing my best, then I'm comfortable with whatever God's will is. That right there, that will have a lot of people making more potent art. Right now we just got watered down art that is strategically marketed. You got some marketing powerhouses in this game, marketing machines in this game, but they're marketing poison. You know, and that's it. So that's the symptoms. Like, it's easy to diagnose the symptoms. I'm not a person that is the first one to ever notice this. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just a person who is like, wait, it's actually getting worse over time. Like, more rappers are getting murdered and it's becoming normal. More rappers are going to jail, and there's everybody trying to pledge allegiance to this fake street code, you know, and people are more concerned about, did 21 Savage unfollow Young Thug on Instagram? Oh, and we putting all this passion and energy into things that are meaningless. You feel me? So I'm just diagnosing that and calling it like it is, but then focusing on building up the army and uniting the army of people that are like, we gonna be the problem solvers because we got the cure to all this. Yeah. You feel me?
I'm gonna call it audible because you mentioned Jermaine Dupri, and I think he said that on the Joe Budden podcast.
He did.
So no, I think it was. I think it was.
I thought it was Joe and Jada podcast.
Was it?
I think it was Joe and Jada. He might have doubled down on it on Joe Budden podcast.
I got clips from both of them.
Okay.
So let me do the Joe Budden one first because I saw what you said about this. Let's play this.
This really happened, and I'm about to show y'all the video. It's proof that you might not start out on the same page in life, but things can come full circle to where it's mutual love and respect. Joe Budden, I appreciate you and I salute you for this, bro. So about a year ago, he said some very choice things about me on this podcast. I fired back. He said some more things going at my character on this podcast. I fired back, right? I even had a ball bottom on my song, Call It Like It Is. Now he just shouted me out, and I understand that this is just like a virtual handshake of us saying, hey, bro, it's love and respect there, you know? I want everybody to pay attention because I didn't have to back down from anything I said or my commentary about hip-hop or the music that I make, but consistency usually breeds respect. So thank you, bro.
Y'all made that text Taylor to have a talk about the frenzy launched? Y'all about to die. Is about to die, except Kendrick. All of y'all are Russell. Hey, man. Hey, what's my man name? Don't like me sometimes. Dee-1. Hey, everybody getting it. Shout out to Dee-1 too. Yo.
That was funny. It's the guy that don't like me sometimes.
Yeah, right.
So that led me to my question of, is it working? What change have you seen? Because this is a little bit of change. I remember when Joe, because I was one campaigning like, Joe, you need to bring him on here. Because I think you on there would be powerful. I really do. Yeah. But he did change. Like, I think you saying that, sticking to your guns over time, like, people will start to respect it. Are you seeing a change? I think Charlamagne's starting to get it. I've seen you on different platforms where I think people are starting to get it. What are you seeing from when you started? Well, you started years and years ago, but just in this last run, what have you seen change since you started speaking up?
Yeah, man, people are seeing that it's possible for somebody to deliver the truth in a non-watered down way.
See that.
And do it with love and passion and skill and have a reverence for God, all in one package, right? I think all of those things matter. If it's delivered with love at the core of it, it prevents it from becoming beef. Right? If it's delivered with passion, then a man gonna have to be like, oh, I at least gotta listen to what homie's saying. Because this is man time now. He looking me right in my eye. I can tell he mean what he's saying. You feel me? Right. When he doing it with skill, it's like, oh, homie could really rap too, by the way. And a lot of people know him. And he got album on top of album on top of album. So we gotta respect that. He not just a cultural critic or academics, you know, trying to go viral. When all of those things happen and when they see the consistency, then it makes them say, dang, okay, let me give this point of view some serious consideration. And ultimately they realize, man, ain't nothing he's saying wrong. They ain't never called me a liar. It's just that it be difficult for people to stand next to what I'm saying because they're like, what's the implications of me standing next to this?
Yeah, right.
Because the guest I brought on my show yesterday or who I'm bringing on my show tomorrow probably fits in the category of what this dude is speaking out against. So how does that make me look? People start thinking about their brands, you know what I mean? So when they just like, oh, like if I was overly thinking about my brand at all in these past 2 years, I would have kept my mouth shut on a lot of things, you know what I mean? But not worrying about any of it, bro. You know, my grandpa passed away a month before the Sway interview I did that really like shook the world in a lot of ways. Regarding Meek Mill, Jim Jones, Rick Ross, and me making comments that really, you know, made a lot of people in hip hop turn their head. And when I lost my grandpa, I won't say I lost him. I say when God called my grandpa home, it solidified to me that, like, man, this ain't gonna last forever. So while you down here, you worrying about a brand or you worrying about currying favor from that man? You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's just like any brand oriented moves or overthinking or strategizing, all that stuff is out the window, man. You know what I'm saying? I done had Christian rappers ask me questions, and I don't even want to say who name it is, and you know, had that be a whole thing. But like, I could tell some people be like trying to study what I'm doing, almost like, how can I do my version of what Dee-1 is doing? I see. So people ask like, so where you trying to go with all this, or what you trying to, like, you know, take this to, or what you trying to build with what it is you're doing? And my answer is nothing. Like seriously, like this is not some well thought out 5-year, 10-year plan. And that's what's so magical and so amazing about it, is because it has a level of freedom and authenticity attached to just my whole aura, I believe. And that freedom and that authenticity allows for me to be all things to all people. Just like it says in the word, you heard me? Like, I'm able to speak the necessary language and to do this, and then, you know, become a college professor when a year before that, I would have never even dreamed of even wanting to be a college professor. But then when I see, oh, this is God opening this, like this is a God door that's opening, bet I'm courageous enough to walk through it. So hopefully that impresses upon people that we should be doing ministry before we doing business, right? And the business always takes care of itself, bro. I think a lot of people, to answer your question, a lot of people are just focused on, how does this impact my business if I start talking like this, or if I switch up what I'm doing? A lot of artists, how does this impact me getting booked if I start rapping different than the way I've been rapping for the past 20 years? Man, when you truly got faith in God, and when you throw all those worries out the window, man, it unlocks a level of creativity and freedom in you. And it actually allows God to be like, now I can really flex my muscle and show you that I'm really God. Because now that you finally giving it to me and trusting me, man, watch what I do. Finna blow your mind in a good way. You feel me? And that's where I'm at, brother. And I just pray I stay right here, like right here, bro. So now the next step is to build up the next generation. So I just did the rappers only call. I had almost 900 rappers sign up to be on a Zoom call with me, bro, to where we could just talk about how we nurture our gifts and talents. And literally, I put the word out there over the course of like a week and had 900 rappers sign up to come be on this call, man. People, young creators are hungry to figure out, yo, how do we like the thing I'm trying to give people, I ain't trying to give nobody no record deal, man. I could sign somebody if I wanted to tomorrow and sign buku artists, but what's more valuable, giving you an advance and some money in your pocket, or allowing you to like uncover and unpack like my heart? I think that what's in my heart and my perspective towards how I approach this endeavor, right? This purpose-driven endeavor, right? That just so happens to be my profession. What's in my heart, that is more valuable than any amount of money I could give y'all. And that's not just for rappers, that's for fans as well. Like, I teach in my college course, I teach about becoming a consumer activist. We see it right now. If we got the audacity as black people to boycott Target, then don't we need to boycott the murder music that's putting a target on our back? You heard me? We boycotting because of DEI. Murder music causing us to DIE. You heard me? Straight up.
You gonna write this stuff down?
Straight up. You know that's going in the song.
I already
I thought it was. I'm sitting here like, oh.
That ain't no it. That's going in the song though.
I can tell.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So we, man, a shift is happening right now, bro. A shift is really happening. And some people, they're wrestling with it behind the scenes, and they'll send a voice memo here, or they'll reach out with a DM there, and you can tell that they're inquisitive, they're curious, like they wrestling with it. And I know listen, brother, I know y'all listening, brothers and sisters, all y'all wrestling with is, dang, how does this impact my bag and my social status? That's all people really, like, that's the only two insecurities people have, you know what I mean? Your bag and your social status pales in comparison to what it's like to have God say, "Job well done, my good and faithful servant."
Yep.
That's real.
You feel me?
Yeah, I didn't know it was connected to your grandfather, man. I didn't know that those two situations were related. So I could see how you're like, man, I got nothing to lose.
I ain't got nothing to lose,
Yeah.
dog. You feel me? Like that's the closest human being to me, bro.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
I remember
my
when
bro.
that was going down.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people don't know that, man. So that's why. Speaking of my new friend, my best friend Joe Budden, you heard me? Shout out to my bestie. But I remember on his show, man, one of the things that hurt me the most is I saw that people were saying, they were like, yeah, it looked like he went live. No, that wasn't on Joe Budden's show. That was some people in the comments. They were like, oh, D-1 went live talking about all this Rick Ross and Jim Jones back and forth or beef or whatever you wanted to call it. And they were like, man, D-1, like he started tearing up when he was going live. And I did. And it had nothing to do with the situation. It's because I read in the comment section when I was live, somebody said, this is when all that stuff was at its height. And people was like, man, dudes is like greenlighting you and threatening you on the radio and saying that they gonna do this to you and all this. And while all this is happening, that stuff didn't bother me at all. But I read somebody in the comment section that said, bro, I know your papa is looking down from heaven and he's so proud of you right now, bro. And it's like it all just came out, you know what I'm saying? Because deep down, yeah, man, like I got to be blessed with a man who did the right thing when the cameras wasn't on. Because he come from a generation where it wasn't no social media fame that they were chasing. He did the right thing because he knows that God sees all, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro.
Yeah, you made him famous and against us, though.
Yeah, bro. That's one of the best moments of my life was when two things. Lupe Fiasco, that's my homie. He shouted out my grandpa in a freestyle he did, and that was cool. My grandpa has no idea who Lupe is, but my grandpa shouted Lupe out in the intro of Against Us song too.
Yeah.
But then also, man, I remember taking my grandpa out to eat near the end of his life, and when people would see us in the restaurants and they'd come up to us and they'd be like, D, can you hold this camera? I want a picture with me and Papa. You heard me?
Yeah.
With
That's a
them
good
want to
feeling.
take a picture.
That's
And
a good
just
feeling.
seeing my grandpa genuinely look super confused, like, what's going on right now? Like, I was totally lost. Bro, I just got the biggest kick out of it. I remember a dude rolling his window down on the interstate. You heard me? My grandpa smoked. He was smoking a cigarette. And, yeah, I rolled the window down. And it's because a dude was motioning to me in New Orleans on the interstate. He was like, roll the window down. He said, Papa, I see you. My grandpa was just like, what is going on? Because I don't know if y'all know, but I wouldn't tell him that I was recording like our interactions.
Really?
My grandpa, he don't know what Instagram is. He was 93 years old. So I would just be like recording like on the cool. Like, man, people gonna find this funny. Like this is how me and my grandpa get down.
Yeah.
So when people are noticing him, it was just funny, bro.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure he's proud, man. I'm sure he's proud. So I'm gonna go back to what I was gonna do. We did a dissect last week, and we haven't done. If you don't know what dissect is, when we actually break down lyrics and try and figure out what the artist meant, and we haven't done one in a while because we haven't really, honestly, done a lot of hip hop focused stuff in a while. But we did Chance the Rapper, the Letters song last week. And he saw it and he said, well, I want to come and break that down. And I was like, man, we should do this more often. Like, I think people like that they get to, the actual meaning of the song is evaluated and not just, oh, here's a song that gets thrown out and nobody actually really studies it. This is the first time I'm going to be able to do it with the person here. Or you can actually clarify.
Yeah.
Wow.
See what I'm saying? So we're going to try and give our best guess as to what you meant. And then you could actually be like, thumbs up, thumbs down. You know?
Okay.
So I'm going to read it. And we're going to try and dissect this. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
So this is GANGSTA. I think I like Hypocritical Hop. That's the one I really connected with.
That one, that song.
I love that.
I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, would that be for the purpose of dissecting?
You
Would
think
that
we
be a
should
dope
switch?
of
I could
dissecting?
pivot. I don't mind.
It's your show, bro. I'm gonna let you decide. What you think is a dope of dissecting?
I like it, but the thing, GANGSTA's just going crazy right now. So
Yeah.
you know what? Let's do this.
All right.
If you have time to stick around, we'll do the other one for Patreon.
Okay.
That'll be the bonus.
Okay.
So let's start with GANGSTA.
Okay.
Let's start with GANGSTA. All right. Since this is the one that the people really connected to. He said, yeah, we changing the definition of the word gangster. Growing and nurturing gifts. Serving the Almighty. Man, it feel good to be me. I can't and you can also correct this because I don't know if you had control over what they actually
On
put up here
Genius?
on Genius.
Okay, I
okay,
haven't.
all right. So you about to find out what
All right,
what people think you said.
This is the intro talk right now. What you're reciting.
So feel good to be me. I can't even see why they hating on me. They hating on me. So but I guess it come with the territory. All right. So here, verse 1. Excuse me, but I gotta let the Most High use me, cause God working on me, but He also working through me. They usually asking me why I'm not in the streets. No, I ain't antisocial. I'm protecting my peace. Grew up in the East with the least, but we survived it too. And you call them boys your brothers, but which one gonna ride for you? Ain't no G code, no. I love it. I don't get this when I do it. No. Ain't no G code no more, boy. Them streets done lied to you. That's why I be in my bag, but I be in my Bible too. And I can't lie to you, I'm so proud of you. If you take what's deep inside of you and allow it to reign, Charlemagne said, Dee-1, you necessary, brother. Well, I'm the son of God, so it's hereditary, brother. All right, so that's that. And then here's the hook. They don't like me, but they know they can't deny me. Man, I'm a real gangster, and you know right where to find me. GANGSTA, do not try me. Growing and nurturing gifts, serving the Almighty. They don't like me, but they know they can't deny me. Man, I'm a real gangster, and you know right where to find me. All right, so you say it again. So the gangster is growing and nurturing gifts, serving the Almighty. All right, so a lot of people feel how I be feeling, but don't speak up. You say that a lot. I be out at Harvard in my office with my feet up. God, why are you so good to me? I need answers. Slave built this school, now I own real estate on campus. Looking for a wife, but I ain't trying to be your daddy. But I'm going to be the leader of this house. You going to respect me. I just need somebody I could build with. The real gonna feel this like a slap from Will Smith. Oh, no. My girl don't need no rough masculine energy. Let me handle that part so you can rest in your feminine. Spirit gold is Trick Daddy's teeth, and she's sweet as cinnamon. She the best. My grandpa, we just talked about. My grandpa and my daddy raised a true Southern gentleman. And it don't matter if my paper taller than Kareem. Sway told me you can't measure my impact with streams. Got the heart of a teacher, platform of a rapper. Just a man on a mission. Let's go. All right, so that's the hook. All right, so let's break it down. I actually want to see. Let's see. All right, here we go. Let's start at the beginning here. All right.
I don't see rapping in your future, by the way.
It's in my past.
It's in your past. Yeah.
All right, so excuse me, but I gotta let the Most High use me. All right, so what's in this beginning here that you want to highlight?
Yeah, excuse me. The way I abruptly started off, it's like I know that being a disruptor, that's one of my gifts, man. That's actually the title of my last album was called "Loaded: Life of a Disruptor Evolving Daily." That's what "Loaded" stood for. I'm a disruptor, bro. So when I start off the verse, it's like, excuse me, to get everybody's attention. Excuse me, but I gotta let the Most High use me. So it's like I'm disrupting just to let y'all know who I'm here to serve. Cause God's working on me. Like I'm not perfect. You feel me? I'm far from perfect. I'm far from perfect. God working on me, but He also working through me.
Yeah.
So it's just letting people know, even through my imperfections, I can still be a vessel.
You know what's interesting? This song is kind of like a summary of what's been going on recently.
It is.
You mentioned a lot of like key points with the Charlemagne thing. What's something else you mentioned in here? Sway. Yeah. You mentioned kind of like the highlights.
Literally, bro.
Yeah.
Literally. So, dog, I got goosebumps, brother, because like I told y'all at the beginning of this episode, I have seen the alignment and the synergy of how God is using me in real life and culturally, what is happening, what shift is occurring. And I was able to capture that in song form. Everything on this album, it doesn't feel like it's far removed from what's happening in real time, culturally and personally with me. So I do think that this song, I'm glad that you noticed that. That says a lot that you noticed that.
So I'm trying to see if there's anything we need to cover before you start talking about young ladies.
Look, he right. Let's see.
That's gonna be interesting.
They usually ask me why I'm not in the streets. No, I ain't antisocial. I'm protecting my peace. I kind of, I'm not a part of any clique. You know what I mean?
Okay, so that's what you mean. You just mean like you're not getting into the mess that's happening. In the
There
street.
you go.
Gotcha,
There you go.
Gotcha.
In CHH and in mainstream, I'm just like, I'm on D1 Island.
So you're saying just messing the CHA streets too?
Messing CHH, brother. I have mediated CHH beef
Really?
in the past 14 days.
Oh, you're talking about recently?
Recently, yes, indeed. Like, and I'm to that point where it's like, wow, this is really what's happening. And You know, I lead a Bible study every Tuesday night on my YouTube channel, right? Called The Word versus the World. And it's at 8 p.m. Eastern for anybody on my YouTube channel, Dee-1 Music, DEE, the #1 music. But, man, it's been forcing me to grow in my word because I can see things and I'm good at like calling it like it is or pointing different symptoms out that we see that are holding us back. And I've seen that the heart posture of a lot of people in CHH is that of just wanting to be an influencer, just wanting to be somebody famous, and they're just using the name Jesus or using the institution of Christianity as a low-hanging fruit to help them get there. I've seen that, right?
I saw you talking about that.
But then I look in Philippians chapter 1, and Paul is locked up, you heard me? And Paul's saying, you know what? Even though some people out here preaching and they got selfish ambition and they jealous of each other and they preaching out of a competitive spirit or whatever, I still rejoice because at least the gospel is being preached and proclaimed.
Yep.
So it's like, wow. So it's like, you're right. I'd rather have people pushing Jesus, even though their heart might still be a little impure, as opposed to pushing murder, debauchery, sin, you know what I'm saying? And their heart be in the wrong place.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't mean that I don't notice what's going on. And it still doesn't mean we shouldn't be striving for pure hearts. So I'm protecting my peace.
So here we go. So Charlemagne, I think we actually covered when you were on the Breakfast Club, but you said, Charlemagne said, Dee-1, you necessary, brother. Tell me what that interview, what was going on there? Walk us through being in that room. Was that your second time?
That was my first time.
That was your first time?
They thought I had been on there before.
I thought so too.
I remember they said it. They kept saying, "You've been
I
here."
remember
you've
them
been
saying
here
that.
before.
Like,
I'm like, my spirit was here,
sure?
brother.
Right,
my spirit was here.
Okay,
Trust
so that
me.
was your first time. So walk us through that whole experience.
Man, for me, there's very few things on like my hip hop bucket list, right? That would make me feel like things that I put on a pedestal, right? Sometimes it's, if this artist knows who I am, or if I get to work with this artist, that makes me feel like, dang, I really made it. You know, for me, that was DMX, right? Not only did I meet DMX, got to pray with DMX. You know what I mean? Like that, it's just like, man, that's amazing. For Nas to know who Dee-1 is, to rock so tough with Dee-1 and stamp me and co-sign me, and like that meant a lot. You know, coming from New Orleans, seeing to where the Hot Boys, the Manny Freshes, the Juveniles of the world, you know, the BGs of the world, to where they like, oh man, like you're our peer now. You're not our little bro. That stuff meant a lot. But in the media space, for me, it was always making it to the Breakfast Club personally feels like, oh, you made it. And it matters how you make it. If you made it there because you paid a publicist buku money and they just had the plug, you know what I'm saying, and on the strength of that, okay, they were able to get you on there. That's one thing, right? But making it on your own merit to where it ain't no kind of, you know, backdoor and, you know, stuff that's going on that maybe ain't organic or authentic.
Sure.
That meant a lot. And for me, brother, making it on there on those terms, that stuff meant a lot. So walking in the room to do my Breakfast Club interview, I felt a big weight lifted off my shoulders because I was like, whether or not I know it, I was putting this on such a pedestal that it was making me turn it into an idol. And we shouldn't be turning anyone or anything into an idol. So walking in there, it was like, okay, this is what it feels like to be here. I'm here. You know, now let's get to work, you know? And get to work means, hey, I got to call it like it is. I can only be me and be the man that God called me to be. So over the course of the interview, there was some pushback. You know, I know Charlemagne had some questions and some hypotheticals about like, D, well, let me challenge you to maybe look at the culture this way and what you think about this. And me not being a yes man and just being like, yeah, you're right, because you're Charlemagne. So whatever you say, me like talking that talk by the end of the interview. And I love that Charlemagne is that honest to where he gonna say what you might not want to hear, but it's on his mind. And by the end of the interview, for it to be like, for him to say, Dee-1, you necessary, brother. You necessary. It's like, when I was reflecting on that, that felt better than anything that somebody else could have told me who was already a fan, you know? I'm used to going into the Lions Den to where it's like people ain't fans, but they're like I say in the song GANGSTA, they don't like me, but they know they can't deny me. I'm used to being in rooms in mainstream hip-hop culture to where they like, man, when he leave, we gonna all have different things to say, you know, behind his back. But while he's here, I mean, he earned the right to be here. Like everything, the impact speaks for itself. So to hear Charlamagne say, "You necessary, brother," I know that came from a pure place. So when I did the song, I was like, yeah, I gotta throw that in the song. Charlamagne said, "D1, you necessary, brother." But I'm like, but I'm the son of God. So it's hereditary, brother.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, there you go. You giving me that glory, but then that pawpaw kick in inside of me to where it's like, thank you, brother. I love that you saying I'm necessary for the culture. But now that I'm putting it into a song, I want people to know that y'all think I'm dope, y'all think I'm necessary. That's only because it's hereditary.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. So explain the acronym then. GANGSTA.
Yeah, the first gangster rap song came out in 1985. So for the last 40 years, we have been miseducating our culture to want to glorify what it means to be a gangster. And gangster music has come along with, it was gangster music. Then we start calling it trap music. Then we start calling it drill music. But it's all under the umbrella of being gangster, glorifying killing, glorifying drug dealing, glorifying this lifestyle pimping. You know what I'm saying? All this type of stuff. Over the course of 40 years, I said, y'all fumbled the bag. Y'all have misled us over the course of 40 years, and now you see all the destruction it has caused, and it has a whole bunch of people thinking that they gangster when they really are just sensitive thugs that need hugs. You feel me? Straight up, dog. So I'm like, nah. I'm finna come and do the most gangster thing possible and take that term from y'all. You ain't gangster no more. Why I ain't gangster? Because I just took that term from you. It got a whole new meaning now. What's really gangster is growing and nurturing gifts, serving the Almighty. That's what's gangster. If you fall under that category, what's up, gangster? You heard me? But for right now, you ain't that. You feel me? And that's what the acronym came from. Like, man, we gotta redefine gangster. Ain't nothing wrong with saying, if we can redefine this, and if we can find, cause you know, I come from New Orleans. Like, I'm not from, man, I'm from, bruh, where we see on a daily basis that people they are really like, they're willing to die behind what they feel like is their respect and their pride, right? They're willing to die behind that stuff. And they tend to call that like, man, you got to respect my gangster. Or, man, you trying to test my gangster. You know what I'm saying? And really, no, they're not trying to test your gangster. You don't want them to respect your gangster. They're trying to test your pride. You want them to respect your pride. And pride, what they say, pride what?
Comes before the fall.
There you go. Pride come before the fall. So it's like y'all thinking that this is something to be holding on to. Meanwhile, man, let that pride go, man. All this, what's really gangster is going against the grain and doing something that might not be popular, but is necessary. You feel me? So that's why I redefined it.
Okay. All right. So you talk about Harvard, the fact that you're there.
And that I own real estate on campus.
Yeah. So tell me more about that.
Yeah, I own real estate on Harvard's campus, man. I co-own a multi-purpose facility, huge facility that's just been built on Harvard's campus near the business school.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it has student housing. It has residential apartments in it. It has corporate office space that gets rented out by big, huge companies that have nothing to do with Harvard. Harvard's campus actually utilizes it for research purposes as well. So it's a big multi-purpose facility. And they were breaking ground on that facility as I was writing this song.
That's
so
dope.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, last time you were here, you told us about the land, but you didn't. There was no building on it.
Yeah,
you were talking
bro.
about what was going to be built
It's
on
there,
it.
brother, and by the grace of God, it's occupied. You know,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, so that's a powerful moment. Slaves built this school.
Yeah.
You heard me?
Yeah.
Our ancestors had to build this school. Y'all built this on the backs of our people. Free labor. Now the irony that like, cool, I own some real estate on this campus. You know what I mean? So I like to throw that in there as just a little, y'all know I'm still D1, drive the Honda Accord, you know what I mean? Like cool,
Saw that.
chill. Yeah, that ain't changing, man. That ain't changing for sure. But I just like to throw that in there that, you know, cause I'm human, so sometimes stuff stick with me. So, you know, I see some people when they try to discredit my motives. You know, my motives are the most pure thing that I got, bro.
Yeah.
But when some people try to discredit my motives, they'll say like, oh, this is just a struggle rapper trying to get, man, a struggle rapper. Boy, I own real estate at Harvard University. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention
Everything else.
you know what I mean? So it was just a little way to throw that in there to people that it's like, yo, God has been great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, God has been great.
All right, this is where you might get in trouble.
Here we go.
Is this a metaphor?
Here we go.
Or are you talking about your actual life and your actual desires here?
Man,
we
when
talking about a wife, right?
Writing that song, that ain't nothing metaphorical about that. Looking for a wife. You want me to say the bars or you gonna say it?
Do it.
Come on.
Looking for a wife. Boo, I ain't trying to be your daddy, but I am gonna be the leader of this house. You gonna respect me.
Uh-huh.
That didn't even rhyme, but I had to say it. You know?
Yeah, I had to get this
Daddy and respect me. That's how you know I just had to get this off. You know,
Okay.
I just need somebody I could build with. The real gonna feel this like a slap from Will Smith. My girl don't need no rough masculine energy. Let me handle that part, so you could rest in your feminine spirit. Gold as Trick Daddy's teeth, and she sweet as cinnamon. My grandpa and my daddy raised a true Southern gentleman.
She like the Trick Daddy part. we from Miami.
305 till I die. All day.
You already know.
All day.
All right, so what is this? Is this an advertisement? Are you looking like what's going on? Where are we at?
That was me saying I'm in a space where I think, you know, what's really gangster is to speak about all aspects of life that I feel like we trying to make forward progress in. And I just put it out there like, hey, there's an area of my life where I would like to make forward progress in it. I saw Maya, the singer Maya, just did an interview that came out like yesterday where she was saying, I've never aspired to be married or have kids. You know what I'm saying? And on my end, I'm just like, well, this song shows that is something that I aspire to. And it's something that I've seen in my life. You know, I've seen my grandparents be married my whole life, even my parents, you know? So me putting that in that song, I also wanted to give women something to be able to say, oh, this song speaks to another side of D that maybe we don't hear him open up about that much.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm surprised you did it. So
Yeah.
So let's see. So where are you at with this? Like, are you? Because you famously say you don't have time. So are you
say
making
that?
time? Yeah, you said it in the song. Are you making time for this part of your life right now?
Finding balance, man, is what I'm doing. Trying to find balance. I think that what I've found is when you have clearly found your purpose before you find your partner, now you and your purpose come as a package deal. So your partner has to love the person and the purpose that accompanies that person, you know?
Yeah.
And that is that's different, you know. Some people can love the idea of what you represent, but loving the actual functionality of being a purpose partner with you, that's not for everybody.
Right.
You know?
All right. Yeah. I was gonna say because you've visited this show like a lot of times, and it seems like every time we get a little bit more of who D-1 is, and I feel like just asking you, like, you know, family aspect. Where is that for you? Like, is that something that you're big on? Do you get a chance to spend time with family? Because I remember the last time I was talking to you, you were like, well, I'm going to be in Atlanta, then I'm going to be in Boston, then I'm going to Pennsylvania, and then I'm coming back to Atlanta. And I was like, dang, that's 4 trips on a plane in 1 week.
Yeah.
Do you get a chance to, like, really wind down and have, like, that family aspect of, like, everything else is quiet?
Not as much as I
Yeah.
probably in a perfect world would want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, not as much, man. I come from a whole family of blue collar workers, bro.
Okay.
Blue collar workers who wake up early in the morning, go to their job. Pops is a welder. Grandpa was a plasterer. You know what I mean? Help build houses and all that stuff. Go work, make an honest day's living. You know, at the job. Clock out, come to the crib. You know, and be with their family. You know? It's new. It's been new being an entrepreneur, being a man who I'm the first. The first man in the family to go to college and be college educated and take this journey that God has taken me on. It's new, and it's something that it has definitely been been something that has pulled me away from what I knew to be my norm growing up. Growing up, I grew up in a very normal family atmosphere. It was very normal. It's just like, and I didn't have no car or nothing like that till I got to college. I had to buy my own car. So it was just, man, you go to school, you go to basketball practice, and you come home and you with your family all the time.
Siblings too?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. I got a sister, just one
Okay.
sister.
Okay.
She in New Orleans.
Okay.
But yeah, it's interesting because I have started to see that my family feels like anyone that is in the body of Christ. You know, like it's to the point now to where I got bonds and relationships with people that are my brothers and sisters in Christ, and it's like we not related by blood, but that's definitely family at this point. You know, so it's been interesting. One of y'all said something about, you actually just said about like, we feel like every time you visit here, we get to know a little more about you. Man, the crazy thing is, bro, there is a very big aspect of who I am and what defines who I am that I know has been intentionally not revealed by me professionally. You know what I mean? And it's been my whole career. It's been something to where I've been like, you know, I used to, when I was first starting to rap, I was like, when am I going to talk about this stuff though? Or when am I going to talk about this? And in my mind, it was like, oh, when I sign to a major label, I'm going to talk about this. Or then it was like, oh, when I get just to a certain point where I feel like I got a certain, you know, grasp mentally around this stuff, I'm going to talk about this. And then you just get to the point to where it's like, will I ever talk about this? And so what I go back and forth on is, part of me feels like I'm a better artist to my fans by being as open and transparent and vulnerable as possible, right? But then there's the other part of me that's like, is that actually the recipe for a lack of peace? Because now you've given all of yourself to the public, and people know too much. You know what I mean?
I see that,
yeah. So I go back and forth on those things because I also know, like, oh, the same thing that you struggling with or that you have overcome, that's part of your testimony now. And soon as you put that out there, that is gonna relate to other people who can grasp what you're talking about, and now you can minister to them. All that stuff is cool, and I'm sure there's a lot of truth to it. But there's still parts that, like, if God, you know, for however long God has me here, if I'm still rapping, there's a lot of things that, at this point, rapping is about, I have certain things that I need to say on the microphone that I feel like will make this world a better place. And it's me always trying to judge internally what are the right things to say on the microphone that truly are done to make this world a better place. So
yeah,
I'm so you know I think about that. Like sometimes the super personal route is a thing that ends up being therapeutic for people. Like I'm just gonna talk about talking about it, that's gonna help me get it out. But I've also seen that stuff backfire, man, to where you invite the world into your business. You know, and you invite the world into your
Do you burn out?
Burnout. Do I burn out? I have times where I feel my battery is pretty low.
Yeah.
For sure, I have times where I feel like my battery is pretty low. And so I'm trying to transition to working smarter and not harder moving forward. And you know what it is that causes the burnout? It's not me trying to do too much. It's not me trying to be somebody I'm not. I think the world is getting to where if you are an artist or you are a creator, there are more and more. It's like, oh, here's a new social media platform that you got to be on. Here's a new way to optimize your presence on this platform. Here's a new this, a new that, a new that, and that part, man, ends up, because team-wise, this is not something where D1 is, as of right now, maybe this changes in the future, but it's not, nor has it ever been something where it's like, yo, D1 has all this infrastructure around him to where D just has to drop 12 to 16 bars on 2 verses on the song that already has the beat picked out the hook is already there. You know, the marketing plan is already made up and going to be pushed. It's never been that way.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Because I notice when you go live at night, I'll be like, man, it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock. I know he had to get up the same time I did.
Oh.
And I'm just like, where does he get the energy from? Because then I go on for like a hot second, and you're just like, it's like 6 a.m. to you. Like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's like how much we are incentivized to give basically all access to the public nowadays.
Yeah.
Like the whole concept of streaming is an artist who, you know, somebody who y'all know hit me up and was like, yeah, man, I'm streaming now. And he was trying to, you know, get me to get into it. And I was like, man, so how you do that schedule-wise? He was like, man, I was on there for 5 hours last night, you know, talking to people. And I'm like, dog, what? Like, you wanted, that was fun? You know what I'm saying? Like, 5 hours. Like, that's almost the amount of time we spend sleeping at night. And you were just sitting in one spot, just talking to a comment section for 5 hours, dog. Like, we get in, but then he go to tell me how much money he made on that stream.
Yeah.
So that be the part to where it's like, bro, I hear you, but I'm not that I'm not in that position where it's like, oh, I need that money like that, da da da. But it's just learning to be at peace with, hey, this is what I'll be contributing to this culture, and this is what I'll be contributing to the lives of my fans. And if you want more from me that I'm not able to give you, then just keep me in your prayers.
That's real
you know what I'm
talk.
saying? Like
Real
that's
talk,
it, because I can't overextend myself. But just talking about it, there's some stuff that moving forward, I'm more at peace with stuff about my childhood and my past now than I probably have ever been. So it's gonna make it to where, yeah, man, I think it'll make for some good conversation.
So you got to come back and do another one of these when you finally so you can explain it.
Yeah, because I be feeling like, bro, people be like, D, man, you so deep and you so open and transparent, and I be like, if y'all only knew. No, I'm really not. Like, I'm just talking about surface level stuff, man. Like there's internal stuff that I look forward to being able to get off of my own chest, because it feels as if you are if you're afraid to talk about something, that thing must still have power over you. You know?
Know what you mean, yeah.
And when I think like that, I'm just like, oh, so you mean to tell me the dude that everybody like, man, that man's so strong, that man's so courageous, that man's so bold. You mean to tell me when I look in the mirror, I'm sitting here like, yeah, but you still don't want to talk about this stuff. You still don't like, and I'm like, oh, nah, I can't let you win. You know what I'm saying?
Who do you talk to? Do you have people in your life? Do you have a therapist? Like, who are you unloading some of this stuff to?
Man, I talk to God, man. Yeah, I talk to God, and I get free therapy in the form of my friends. You know,
Good.
That. And when I say that, I'm very discerning about knowing. Don't just take advice from everybody just because they love you. You know, so it's not about getting advice from people as much as it is about me being able to speak to someone and just get things, you know, off my chest. Sometimes just a good ear is all I'm in search of, you know, from people. So, yeah. And as far as God and that relationship, man, that line of communication is very healthy and very strong. So I'm grateful that I seek out God, you know, several times throughout the day, man, in a way that there's no part of my life that I feel like I can't involve God in. And even it's tough when you disappoint God, when you got such a reverence for God, and when you disappoint God. I went through seasons where it's like, God probably don't want to talk to me now. I just finished sinning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
We all have felt that.
Yeah. And then I see what that looks like taken to the extreme, though, to where you just be like, well, what's easier, to stop sinning or to just keep sinning and just be like, God, I'm just holler at you later, bro. You know, I'm doing this, and being at that crossroads. You know, that's real stuff I done like lived through and gone through. So yeah.
Well, that's why I asked you about the friends, because like I know for me it was me, Ryan, and Jeremiah they were my accountability partners.
Whoa,
Like
yes.
we were like, if I see him slipping, I'm like, hey yo, you good? Like, do you have that in your life? Because I mean, after this, I'm sure your DM's gonna be lighting up because you saying you're ready for a wife and all this. Like, how do you keep yourself? You know, like you're a famous person now. How do you keep yourself in that area? Like, you got people that are like locked on with you, or is that something that you need that?
Yeah, I got a good circle of brothers who are married.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah,
that's good.
A circle of brothers who are married and who understand that they're in a position to be able to pour into me.
That's
you know
good.
what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. So that stuff is interesting because there's been such an industry now made out of how to find the one.
Yeah.
You know, and the art of being able to pick the perfect purpose partner.
We talked about that
on here last week.
For real.
Yeah, we talk about it a lot more because we realize we got a lot of great single people around us. We got a lot of great single people on our team and our families, and what we're hearing is there's a lot of challenges linking up. And it seems like it's harder now than it was when we were getting married.
Sure.
So it's been a mission of ours to say, okay, let's have more conversations. Let's provide more advice. Let's give some more insight so that we can provide some insight. There's a young lady that's gonna be coming on the show soon. She was on season 5 of Love Is Blind, and she has a really good testimony. She stood for her faith on the show pretty well, and then she ended up getting married later down the line. So I'm gonna have her come on here and just kind of share her. I think people just need to hear, like, how do I make it through this part of my life? Because for some people, they may not be getting married, because they may be dedicated to God for their entire lives. So there's a lot of help and support our brothers and sisters need. So I'm glad you brought this topic up because I think it's a powerful one. A lot of people are struggling with that.
And some people are struggling with having too many options. We have more options nowadays than our parents or grandparents ever had. Because the internet makes the world so small.
Right. Yeah.
And you have so many people that you can look at, and even if it's not a reality that you could potentially be with them, it's a perceived reality that, I mean, if I wanted to, I could, engage with this person and form a friendship and then build and then turn into something. And it's like when you go into Baskin Robbins and they got 31 flavors. You heard me? It's like, wait, what? Like, y'all want me to pick one? Like, I'm probably gonna need 3 of them. You heard me? And like, because out of 31, like just one, I think that's one symptom that people are struggling with. And I think on the opposite end of that spectrum, you have people who are looking for this contrived definition of what a perfect relationship looks like based on TV shows, what they've seen. Like, oh, I've seen this on TV. So subconsciously, I'm looking for something that mirrors that. Or I'm looking for something that mirrors what we see glamorized on social media all day. You look at a couple's testimony, and then their pictures look cute together, and you be like, oh, man, like that's the bar right there. That's where the bar is set. So it's dealing with that. Not to mention, I mean, you said the F word, man, like fame, bro. That stuff has an impact. That, like, nobody teaches you how to be famous.
Yeah.
Nobody teaches you how to be famous in a way that honors the platform that you've been blessed with, but that still allows you to maintain your humility, your integrity, your sense of personal connection to where everyone doesn't just seem like a quick transactional relationship of like, okay, knock this little interview out right quick, before to be like, yo, like, these are actually grown men and women who I want to, like, value as people and whatnot. When everything is, so here's your schedule, here's your itinerary, then you're in this city, then you're going here, then you're going here. Speaking of that, like, I'm about to go on tour. Starting September 5th. We'll be in Atlanta September 7th. Yeah. But going all around the country: Houston, Atlanta, Dallas, Nashville, New York, DC, Boston, and New Orleans. Those are the 8 cities. And I'm excited, but touring is challenging.
Oh, yeah.
Touring is challenging. Number one, I don't think people understand that there's a big difference between them supporting you on the internet and double tapping and liking your comment on there or your content on there versus them actually coming out. You know, oftentimes there are these big barriers that exist to where it's like, well, wait, I got this many followers. Then why are these people, you know, not coming to the shows? Oftentimes they're not even aware because the marketing of the concerts may not even be reaching them because social media makes it to where you actually aren't even reaching the bulk of your audience online when you post something. So now you got to run ads. Now you got to try to, you know, identify where those people are. And then from there, people got a lot going on, man. So people got kids and they got work schedules and school and all that. And so they got to decide like, teaching people how to support us is a real thing. So I'm structuring my concerts in a way that it's really just it's a gathering of like minds in the same place, and it's meant to edify everybody's spirit that night. So instead of having opening acts on the tour, like, oh, this person's gonna be the opening rapper or opening singer, I'm having community-led panel discussions with
I like that.
members of each city who have their boots on the ground and are doing the work every day. Because me, I'm in a position, I'm the big homie now to where I can co-sign people. And I can make what you doing cool by saying, we're going to have you on stage talking about your hard posture, the challenges you face, but also the solutions that you are bringing to the table and allow your community to see you as a hero and whatnot. I'm doing that in every city.
That's good.
And then getting into the show. So, yeah, bro, it's touring. Touring is a time where it puts a lot about life into perspective when I tour, man. It puts a lot about life into perspective. But namely, that's why I started teaching, because I started craving. I done been on like 14, 15 tours in my career so far, maybe closer to 20. But I started craving a deeper relationship with people as opposed to a very surface level one-day relationship with them, to where it's like, oh, I'll be in Houston September 5th. I had a great concert experience with you. That was dope. Now, won't be seeing you till a year from now when I come back to Houston. That stuff started to feel.
But that's full circle for you. You started as a teacher. Now you back to it.
And I was missing it, bro. I was missing it, and I was missing it. So that's why I started the Bible study. At least every week, I've been able to cultivate a community of hundreds and hundreds of people that are on my YouTube as we go live together. Now I know people's screen names. I'm knowing what city they're in. I know they vibe. I'm knowing their kids just through cultivating community. So it probably was me being like, dang, you got the fame and you got the impact that you're making, but now wanting more community, you know, and for my own purposes, you know.
So we getting Pastor David anytime soon? We getting Pastor D?
Pastor D, bro.
Is that where this is going?
A lot of people have asked me that. Do you honestly feel like, am I pastor material, bro?
Anybody is. I have a great I got a great friend.
I'm just let David off Dwyer in New Orleans out the night ward.
Will Gravely.
Yeah.
I think he's from the same area as you. No. Wait, I may be wrong about that.
I don't know where he's from.
If I'm telling you, he got the same heart, same drive, same creative, everything. What you could bring to that would be amazing. Don't do it if you ain't called to it. I ain't pushing you to do nothing. But
Amen.
it just sounds like the community that you're craving could result in something like that. So prepare yourself because I think, didn't you talk about this on something? It could be that he could be sliding you into that, but it's going to require even more than what you've given so far.
Yeah.
So don't walk into that lightly. But I do think your gift is teaching. That's clear. That's clear. So I don't want to scare you, but that could be coming.
Yeah, and it's not always about numbers, because the reason why I stopped teaching middle school all them years ago is I was like, oh, numerically I can reach way more people as a rapper, right? But then you start to ask yourself, if you're reaching people, a lot of people, but if you're reaching them on a surface level, is that more impactful than reaching fewer people and going real deep with them, you know? So I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle, like a hybrid of that. Not just your typical rapper who simply is just trying to reach the masses on a surface level, but not your person that is like, hey, you could catch me reaching these 100 or 200 souls, and I'm going extremely deep with them. It's like as of right now, it's somewhere in the middle, to where it's still reaching the masses, but it's wanting to go deeper with the masses. And maybe that's why I feel comfortable being bold and being somewhat polarizing at times, is because I feel better when I know that I'm not for everybody.
Yeah,
Because it makes the people that I am for be like, oh yeah, we really locked in.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's good.
Well, that was good, man. I mean, that's a lot of insight behind a song. I don't think people normally get. I mean, like that's really, really good insight. So I appreciate that. Man.
GANGSTA, yeah.
Yeah, man. That's good.
Thank
That's
you
good.
for the questions, bro.
Absolutely. All right, so let's do this one because I know you got a reaction to this. Jadakiss and Fat Joe were talking about why the BET Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards were canceled. What do you think? What everybody think?
I was scrolling yesterday. I seen BET is canceling the BET Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards. They put a little bit of fluidity back into it, but it was a time when it got like the Ratchet Awards and nobody was really going and this and that. Now they just canceling it. That's like a loss for the culture.
This is a form of gentrification, what's going on right now. BET came up as a community station for black people, right? The urban culture. And our man, Bob Johnson, took the check. He sold it, first black billionaire, whatever the case may be. He sold it to Viacom and Paramount, MTV and them, VH1 and them. Little by little over the years, quietly, they've been firing a lot of people behind the scenes in BET, and everybody who has something to say, they've been firing them and this and that. The budget
Just kept getting
chopped and chopped and chopped. They kept underfunding them, and you ain't got no money to be creative. That's why you was watching the Ratchet Awards and all that. They ain't had no bread. Last year we shot the last joint, and I am
They have bread
so
for what they want to have.
All right,
bread.
what y'all think? Is that why the BET Hip Hop Awards got shut down?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think it had much to do with money. I think it had to do with a new system coming in, trying to make the narrative worse for black culture. That's what I think.
I mean, so I saw something too where a young lady was saying that they're retooling because the way in which you shoot those type of shows, it's not palatable for how people ingest information anymore, and that's cool. But at the end of the day, promoting foolishness. So whatever reason is cut, I'm like, cool. We need a break from that.
Yeah.
We don't need to see that anymore, right? Let's get a break from that. So I don't care what the reason is. I'm glad. Like, let it just go by the wayside for a couple of years and recalibrate, rebuke that joke, and get it back up to a standard. Because the standard is trash.
Literally, I think it's that simple. We weren't watching it no more because y'all pushing foolishness. I think the last one I did see, because I was at my uncle's house and my cousins wanted to watch it, it was nothing but the gay agenda. I was like, my God. And even with like Tiana Taylor straddling a woman, I'm like, goodness, y'all doing a lot. I ain't seen this in 5 years and I ain't gonna ever see it again. So I think that's why they cancel it too. We not about that and we don't want to see it.
I hope that's true. You know why? Because what you said something. You said we're tired of seeing it. A while back when we were talking earlier, you were saying that if the, you know how Target, they're having to restructure because we're doing what we used to do back in the day. We're banding together and saying, no, we're not accepting this. And I've said this about hip hop for a long time. If the community said we're not listening to this no more, the artists would change.
Yep.
Facts, the artists would change. They were like, oh, they don't want this anymore. They're not consuming this.
That's so good.
We'll turn a corner on it.
If you say certain stuff about the Jewish community, you will be canceled before you can go to sleep that night. You heard me? In hip hop. If you say certain stuff about the Muslim community, you will be, boy, they're going to be at your top. You heard me? If you say certain stuff about the homosexual community, ask the baby. You heard me? You will, you're going to get consequences and repercussions coming your way. So when will we as black people get to the point to where we say, man, we are not okay with different stuff being said, but guess what? It's not other people having to say it about us because we saying it about ourselves.
Right.
And we pushing it and promoting it about ourselves. So that's the issue that we facing, man. I'm so happy the BET Hip Hop Awards got canceled or suspended indefinitely. I agree with what y'all said. It needed to sit down, you know what I'm saying? And whoever was responsible for it, even if it was financial reasons. Sometimes stuff may look financial on the surface, but it's actually just God working in mysterious ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saying, man, sit down, man. You know,
Agreed.
this the 20-year anniversary right now when Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans today, right? Literally 20 years today, and y'all know that's my hometown.
Yeah.
Man, the word Katrina means clear and pure, right? There was a lot of stuff, as much as we want to say that we loved our city, there was a lot of stuff about our city that was absolutely not of God and absolutely enjoying sin and debauchery, and a purification or an opportunity for a rebirth, you know, is something that if you choose to have the perspective that, dang, this is tough that this happened to us, but God is still in control. Let's use this as an opportunity to shake back and figure out how we can improve moving forward. That's how the BT Hip Hop Awards should look at it. Fat Joe said something I totally disagree with. He said, if you keep cutting the budget, you know, we can't even be creative. Man, creativity is free.
Yep.
Yeah.
It don't cost no money to
made
be
me rich.
creative, man. The microphone's gonna work. Y'all got a budget to have microphones and have cameras. You heard me? The creativity, man. What?
I think what he means is that they didn't have enough money to pay the people they would need to get there. So the top tier talent wasn't around anymore. So they had to grab the whoever's to fill the lineup. Have y'all ever been to a BT Hip Hop?
I've been on it.
You been on it?
Hey, I was on the cipher.
So I've been there, right? What struck me, and this is probably all award shows, but this one in particular, it's such a show. When people are up there performing, you know, the cameras all around them and all this and that. They got the set moving and this and that. But the people in the audience, stone face. I don't care who your favorite, whoever it is, everybody. But then the camera come around. It's just a show.
Yeah.
It's just a show. So when they make it seem like this is what our culture wants, they portray it like everybody loves this. The people don't love that stuff. I've been there. I've seen it. The people in the audience are only there to be seen by other people in the audience. They do not care about what's going on that stage. So they really can control the narrative. They're only putting stuff on there that they want to see. It's not. They're not reacting to a influx of
there you go.
demand. It's not demand.
There you go. There you go.
It's not. I've seen it.
There you go.
Yo,
That part.
That's that hypocritical pop though.
Hypocritical Hop.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
there
it
you
right
go.
there.
So it had become the BT Hypocritical Hop Awards. You know, that's what it had become.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that got canceled, man, because it wasn't reflecting the diversity that exists in our culture. It's not a popular thing to say, but people always say, man, we need balance in the culture. We need both sides. No, we don't. You think God's sitting in heaven saying, you're right. We need
Ratchet and
we need righteous and ratchetness. No, stop with that foolishness, man. Yeah, all that, like, that's just something that makes us feel comfortable as humans when we say that.
flesh.
There you go. It makes our flesh feel comfortable because we feel like that way I don't have to be offensive to anybody. You know, we want to tiptoe around everything except for the truth. You know what I mean? We want to tiptoe around people's feelings and people's egos down here. But, man, when it comes to the truth, there's no such thing as your truth or I'm living in my truth. My truth. There is the truth.
Period.
You know, and people don't want to acknowledge that there has to be a standard that we are all saying we are going to literally live, die, and coexist with one another according to this standard. And that standard is God's word, the Holy Bible. You heard me?
So what would y'all do if they came to you and they said, all right, we took a break from the BT Hip Hop Awards, but we're going to bring it back. We need you on the committee. What's your advice to bring it back better?
I think it's got to start with the character of the people behind it. I think those people have to be in alignment with the standard. You know what I mean? Like not making it about debauchery, not making it about foolishness. When I talked about the culture changing up there, my guess is when you bring it under new ownership, it's no longer independent. You know what I mean? Independent of the idea that someone else can run it or control it. So now you've got new ownership, and those people are pushing out the people who wanted to keep this thing right. They wanted to build a culture. They wanted to edify black people in their arts. Now you got people that's coming in and saying, we'll pay you a check to come and be an executive here, and you do whatever you want. And so slowly over time, they move things in a direction where they're like, well, listen, we can get a liquor sponsor if we get this artist to do this. You know, if we do this type of show, I mean, we can get more.
And you know about this.
Oh yeah,
You was in sales.
Yeah, because the radio. Yeah, oh yeah. It went, I mean, you know, there's a lot of stuff There was a lot of stuff. We could manipulate an entire system through the sales funnel. You can manipulate anything to make it seem like it's one thing or another.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, it's tough. I made a decision that I never wanted to work in the music industry because of how many compromises I would have to make, right? As just an employee or a part of, like you said, if you're in one of those meetings, you're probably looking at it like a win if it's like, yes, we got maybe 1 or 2 segments of this award show that I feel like really represent what I want to see more of hip hop. But the other 80% of it, I'm just going to have to be like, well, that's just par for the course. That's just how it goes. Yeah. I'm like, man, I can't live my life, being like, dang, I'm only getting 20% of what I really want, So for me, being an artist was the way, either being an artist or starting my own platform. Shout out to y'all. Yeah. That's the way that you can say I'm in control of the totality of what I put out. So if they had me on that committee, that would be a short-lived job for me, because I'll be like, look, y'all, we need, I'm going to call it like it is, and I'll be in that meeting and tell them what it need to be. And then I'll be like, and before y'all fire me, I'm just going to get it off my chest. Like, you know that you wouldn't want your kids listening to that, but you want to hire this person to perform so that all the little kids in the ghetto could be inspired by this. But you know that your own kids go to private school. They don't listen to that, And you, Miss Lady, okay, so you want the da-da-da. And after saying all that, I'll be like, now y'all can fire me. Go ahead.
Carried out.
Y'all ain't even got to fire me. I quit. I quit.
That's how I
It's
felt.
like the Kingdom version of Damon Dash up here.
That's how I felt when I saw Cardi B trying to keep her daughter from hearing her song that was on the radio. And she was listening to one of her songs, and her daughter came in and she started just pushing the speakers away, like, hold on, no.
You serious?
Yeah. Wow, so it's wild to see that happen. Same thing with Steve Jobs. He wouldn't let his kids use iPhones and iPads. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because he thought it was too much. What is it?
Stimulus. Well,
that's not the word I'm looking for. I'm looking for the word I use with my kids. Too much what they got? FaceTime, I guess. Screen time. There you go. Yeah. Too much screen time for them to where they're not. There's an imbalance of everything else they should be learning and doing. Motor skills.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, bro. All right, so here's my thing. I'm big on like needing to infiltrate these spaces and not try to infiltrate them to fit in, but infiltrate them to where, like, once people get exposed to the truth one time, they might act like they ignored it, but they'll never forget it, right? Yeah. So I'm just big on, and that's why I've been upset with myself in the past, because I went through a period, specifically about 2 years, when I first got signed to a major label. I was with RCA Records, and I wasn't in the mindset of, man, infiltrate these spaces to shake them up, break them up, and make them elevate. Like change the temperature in the room. I was in the space of like how to like comfortably acquiesce myself in with whatever the culture is, not stir the pot too much, and be all good. And man, I ended up I was on the BT Hip Hop Awards. I was in the cypher.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was man, they had people at the label that had to approve of my verse and all this type of stuff before they would say like, yep, you could spit that, da-da-da. And they didn't want me to rock the boat too much, so don't say this, don't say that in your verse, And me at the time, just wanting to stay in good standing with my label, I was like, okay, bet I'll go back and redo it again. You know what I'm saying? I'll take this out, I'll put this in there. And what ended up coming out, it wasn't the purest form of who I know I am. So, bro, that was one of the toughest times in my life where I'm getting this huge platform, probably millions of people watching this at home. And what I'm watching on that TV screen, and I'm getting all these texts, congratulations, you made it. Oh, that's crazy. I'm watching you on TV, da-da-da. But I'm knowing that man I'm looking at up there spitting, that ain't the raw D-1. You heard me? That ain't the best version of me. And man, bro, it tore me up, man, to where like I went through real life depression, bro. I went through depression because it was a lot of professional pressure that I was putting on myself. It was also one of them, I'm the underdog at the label. So this feels like my big moment. This is the night where it's like, oh, this man went viral. This man went crazy. Next thing you know, he's a household name the next day. That's how much pressure I was putting on that night. You know what I mean? And for me, it's okay. I played sports my whole life. You win some, you lose some. You heard me? We done lost championship games and all. life goes on. But life goes on a lot better when you feel like you put forth your best effort in that game. Now when you're looking at your performance in the game being like, that ain't even me. That ain't even me. That's the watered down version of me. That's the version of me that's trying to stay cool and curry favor from everybody at the label. Who are they to be telling me what to say and what not to say? Like,
well, that's interesting. So what do you? Because I think a lot of artists are going through that same situation. What do you tell them then? If your label is telling you, hey, you got, and I've been told to change things too and rewrite things. What do you do when they're telling you that's what you got to do? You sign.
Everybody's situation is different, man. When they're telling you, yo, rewrite this, change this, sometimes that's your sign that this relationship needs to be ending pretty soon. The thing about being signed is you're not in full control of if you can end that relationship.
Yeah.
You know, the label or the company, they're in control of that. So I spent all of 2017 fighting for my album to come out on RCA. The name of the album is Slingshot David.
I remember that.
All right, bro.
It's a good album.
Bro, thank you, bro. Like, bro, oh man, it make me cringe just thinking about it, dog. Just because I went viral with this song called Sally Maybach, right?
Yep.
That was in February of 2016.
Yep.
The label had just got sold to a new team, and the dude that was over it, I don't even want to get this man I don't even want to make him, known by saying his name. But Lord knows I would definitely just a straight clown, right? So as this song is going viral and it has nothing to do with the label, that's when it clicked to me, February of 2016, that dang, I'm on ESPN, I'm on The Real, the daytime talk show, I'm on CNN, all this. I done formed a partnership with Sally Mae, the student loan company, on the strength of a song that the label told me was whack, and that the label refused to get behind. So I was like, this is what I needed, God, to give me the confidence that D, man, you are destined to do stuff that this label can't do for you. You can do it on your own. Yeah. I knew it then. I started trying to get out of my deal February of 2016. The label, once they knew I wanted to get off the label, they intentionally didn't want to let me off. It was one of them things of oh, that's what you want? Oh, we definitely ain't finna let you do that, We're gonna make you suffer, right? Yeah. So that being said, I was fighting. I was like, all right, the only thing that's gonna allow me to sleep good at night is being able to at least say, David, you at least put an album out, a full-length album out, signed to a major label, because now you'll never be curious about, man, what if that label machine would have got behind me? You fantasize as an artist about, boy, if I get that label machine behind me, they just gonna push me to higher heights I could, only dream of, because I see it happen for all these type of artists. So I wanted to at least get an album put out. Man, what I went through from February of 2016 until that album came out November 10th of 2017. So that's a year and about 9 months. So 21 months of my life, bro, it was so difficult because I had a vision for the type of album I wanted to put out, the statement I wanted to make. That was like you said, it's a dope album, bro. I'm really telling my life story through music on that album. Man, they wanted to change it so many times. Then they were like, okay, we don't like the songs. Scrap it and start from the beginning. After that happens, literally to the whole album, after that happens and I scrap it and start from the beginning, still trying to weave my creativity into it on my terms, then the second rendition is like, you could keep 6 of these songs, but the other 7, you got to work with our in-house producers. So you got to scrap them songs and now work with our producers that signed to us. So I'm like, wait, what? Like, why? Like, da-da-da. So it's all these compromises I'm making, da-da-da. And I see how some artists just be like, bro, I don't have the patience to deal with all that. Like, mentally, I'm getting weak, or mentally I'm getting disturbed to the point where this ain't fun no more, I see how artists get there. I almost got there, but then I was able to get it to where they at least said, all right, we're going to put your album out, right? Then the week before my album comes out, the dude that was running the label, he fired the whole marketing department, right? Fired him. So I remember talking on the phone with him, like, so who finna market my album? He said, me. I said, oh, Lord. Once he said him, I said, bro, what?
So
Like, dog. So I went through all this stuff, bro. So I know that some artists they dealing with stuff from their label and they trying to figure out, all right, do I just cave in and do what the labels way, get them what they want, and then sink or swim? At least the ball moved forward because the label got their way. And I felt like, oh, the label hated that I was smart. They hated that I had a voice and I had an opinion. And at this point, I already know I'm smart, right? But then when I have had the biggest song of my career that has led to a partnership that was worth 10 times what my record deal was worth, you know what I mean? What I signed for, my partnership was worth 10 times that with Sally Mae. So once I've proven to myself, no, I'm not dumb and uneducated and don't have an ear for what's going to really resonate with people. It's been proven now. At that point, they really didn't like me because they're like, oh, now he really standing on business. When he present his music to us, he not just going to crumble if we say that's whack, da-da-da. Now he going to advocate, no, I'm telling y'all this is dope. We keeping it just like this. They didn't like that type of energy, bro. And so I understand that artists who are signed are struggling on a daily basis, you know.
Do artists want to be famous?
Absolutely. More than they want to be paid.
And why is it, and what have you seen to tell an artist, no, you don't want this?
The fame part, man, you can't tell an artist that they don't want the fame part because oftentimes their desire for fame comes from something internal that they're lacking. And they're looking for it. They're looking for it in the lights that come along with fame and celebrity status, you know, for sure. But wanting to be famous is something that if you actually have if you have a plan to say, oh no, by me being famous, I can utilize that platform and that light to bring more light to God, you know, and to make Jesus more famous than I am and continue to make, of course, Jesus is more famous than we are. But if you have a plan for that, like, I get it and I understand. I totally understand. It shouldn't only be the people that's doing the devil's work that aspire to have a large platform. It's like, no, God's people should aspire to have large platforms too, but we got to be doing just as much work to purify our hearts as we are to expand our platforms. Like, it's like literally a double-edged sword. I'm working, putting more content out, doing interviews, going on tour. That's all to expand the platform, brother. I'm here right now to promote the fact that I got new music out and I got a tour I'm going on and I'm letting people know who I am. Some people probably just finding out about me for the first time. You got to make sure that as much as you're doing that, you are also simultaneously saying, all right, how do I make sure that I'm using the platform and the fame to give God the glory and that I'm using it to be an example for my followers and for my fans of what it looks like to be an uncompromising man of God. That's all. It just, like, I won't knock people for wanting to be famous. You know, I won't knock people for that, but it's just, what they say, too much of anything, you know, is sinful and harmful and unhealthy. I won't knock people for wanting to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like, money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. So it's just everything in moderation, bro. And one thing I can honestly say is anybody who grew up with David off Dwyer Road, David Augustine Jr. from 5 years old in kindergarten would tell you, if we FaceTime him or call him right now, man, that's the same exact dude that I grew up with in New Orleans as Dee-1. The same exact dude. Like, so that, I take that as a compliment because the dude I was back then didn't have aspirations to be famous, you know, at all. The dude I was back then wasn't trying to be an influencer or anything like that. So knowing that I am those things now, but that this stuff really don't mean anything to me, it means that I won't do any goofy stuff to try to hoard it and be like, oh, I got to keep this by any means necessary. Brother, like, I'm prepared to have 1 billion fans tomorrow, and I'm prepared for if God says, all right, you done in that industry. You heard me? I need you elsewhere. I'm prepared. I'm prepared.
That's deep.
Man, thank you, Minister Reggie Key, for coming through. Tell them how they could support you and how they could, what you need them to do for you.
Hey, so I appreciate that. You can find me on Instagram, Ink Well Spoken. When I go into schools, it's Ink Well Spoken, but when I am able to speak on a faith-based platform, it's Manu Forte Ministries, MANUFORTI Ministries. So you can find that on Instagram, Facebook for the old heads. And I'm an author. You can find me out there on Amazon. Not because I heard that's what my kids be telling me. Like, we ain't on Facebook, Dad. I'm like, whatever, I am. So I don't know what that means. But you can find my author as well. You can find my books on Amazon, Amazon.com/author, Ink Well Spoken. So appreciate that.
Yes, sir. And D1, tell them how they could support the album.
I mean, y'all could obviously go stream the album. I ain't gonna make hardly no money from y'all streaming it. But as long as you're being impacted, it's all good. It's about you. It's not about me. I do this for you guys. But also, that's why I offer my albums directly on my website for my audience who wants to come and purchase it directly from me at D1music.com, DEE, the number one music.com, and you can name your own price. And for people who are like, brother, I want you to be able to feel that, that I'm supporting you. And then they, you do that and you get the album sent to you in the form of a streaming player that you'll be able to still stream everything on, that we made internally. So you can do that to support the album. Support the tour, though, the tour that I'm going on. That's the part where, man, like I'm asking people, get a ticket for the tour, and if you can't make the tour, then get a ticket, sponsor somebody else. If you're like, you know what, I'm not in that city, but I want somebody to be able to go to the tour, then you could sponsor a ticket, sponsor 10 tickets, 20 tickets, whatever. There's people who their life will be changed by them being in the building for these shows. Houston, September 5th. Atlanta, September 7th. DC, September 11th. New York City, September 12th. Boston, September 14th, Nashville, September 19th, Dallas, the 25th, and New Orleans, September 27th. Man, either get a ticket, that's my ask, either get a ticket or sponsor somebody or a few people and get some tickets for them so that they can be in the building, because these shows, the live experience has a way of sticking with you and literally altering the direction that you're moving in your life, either lighting your fire even more or allowing you to say, whoa, that shifted my whole way of thinking that night because of what I got exposed to. Because it ain't just me. It's going to be a whole bunch of change agents from these specific cities in the building that are all showcasing our love and our light. And that's what I need, bro. I need this tour to do well, the Hypocritical Hop Tour. Tickets available at D1music.com, DEE, the number one music.com. Get a ticket or sponsor somebody.
That's dope. I just got a text from Jeremiah. Just keep him in your prayers, man. He seems like he's still in good spirits. He was making sure you were good. So again, he's a good dude, man. Again, we're honoring his mom today, so please send him some love his way. He definitely needs that right now. So,
Miss Gail, shout out to Miss Gail.
Absolutely. She was a great woman. So go to patreon.com/TRACKSTARZ Universe. We love you guys. We'll be back in the flesh next week. You in the field with the Track Stars. Ryan Wright, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let go.